Fawziya says, some banks award points on buying through credit cards, which is interest-free. Later on, owner of the card can buy some items by these points. Are these points halal? If not, can we help some poor by buying an item through these points? This is a bit complicated. And I don't know if we have enough time, but I'll just try my level best when it's raining dogs and cats here. I'll try my level best to wrap it up as quick as possible and try to make it understandable, inshallah. What is the relationship between the bank and myself? Am I depositing my money at the bank? And this is called deposit in the sense that I give my neighbor my car and I say, I'm leaving for a couple of weeks, keep my car in the garage, in your garage, and when I come, I'll collect it. Okay, he says, okay. I give my neighbor $100,000 and I say, keep it please with you. When I come, I'll pick it up. And he says, okay. After 2 weeks, when I come, my neighbor says, my whole house was burnt to the ground and your money was in my house. Your car was in my house and it's ashes now. Does my neighbor have the right to come and say, or do I have the right to say to my neighbor, listen, it's not my business, give me back my money or my car? No, there's no need for this at all, because the problem is that he is doing me a favor. And when I say that he is doing me a favor, I mean that it is not his mistake. He didn't do anything wrong. Therefore, I have no right to demand it from him. But before I left, if he said, lend me 100,000, and I give him the 100,000 as a loan, and when I come back, he said, my house was burnt to the ground and your 100,000 was with it. He has no right to not give it to me. My right is to say, it's not my problem that your house was burnt. You borrowed 100,000, you're obliged to give it to me. Now, let us compare apple to apple. When I deposit money at the bank, when I open a bank account, is it a loan to the bank or is it for safekeeping? The bank puts it in a box and nobody opens this box until I come and withdraw some of the money or add some to it? Definitely it's the first, not the latter. Because if the bank was burnt to the ground, if it was robbed, if it lost in transactions, they're obliged to return my money that I deposited in my bank account. So it is a loan. They have all the right to utilize my money. They can invest it, they can lend it to others, unlike when it's a deposit where they are not allowed to use it. Hence, anything that comes to me from the bank is riba, because it's a loan. So if I'm a millionaire or someone with 5 or 6 digits in my bank account, every year they give me gifts. They give me a box of dates, they give me a mishlah to wear, they give me cell phones, SIM cards, tickets, points, whatever they want to give. All of this is riba. I'm not allowed to take it because this is interest coming over my money, which is a loan with them. Likewise, when we have a prepaid debit card. So if I have a MasterCard and I charge it or put in it $10,000 and I use it and I use it and I use it, this $10,000 is a loan with the bank. And every time I want to withdraw something, I use my card and the bank gives a third party. The points I accumulate on debit cards are not halal. Now we come to the postpaid, which is known as the credit cards. Now the credit cards are problematic because the vast majority of them are based on riba. And we've talked about this before. the 40 days grace period. If you fail to pay on time, they will start to charge you a certain percentage as their riba, and this is totally haram. But the Fawzia is saying that the credit cards we're getting are interest-free. So I'm not lending the bank anything. On the contrary, I am borrowing from the bank. When I buy worth of $5,000 or $10,000 from a store, the bank gets its percentage from the store. But what I have to pay is exactly what I have purchased. And there is no borrowing from it, lending the bank anything. Actually, I am borrowing from the bank, and it's interest-free. So if this is the case, whatever the bank awards you with miles or with points, it seems to be halal. But if it is prepaid, it is haram. If it is interest-based credit cards, it is haram. If it is totally interest-free, then inshallah, there's nothing wrong in that. And I hope this clarifies it.